Welcome back to another episode of my Atlanta Hawks franchise here on NBA 2K25, where we are going to simulate this last game here against the Pelicans um, and go over the regular season recap. I did want to kind of highlight this game because it is going to be the deciding factor, perhaps between us being the 2 seed or the 3 seed. um, as both us and the Knicks have the same record. So not going to play it. But we are going to do the simcast, and I think this is what. Yep. And then let's take a look and see if our Hawks can at least get a victory here in the final game of the season. It's going to be a little tight here towards the end. Let's see, up a little bit right here. Yep. We do come away with a victory in our final game of the season. And let's take a look. Trae Young, 30 points, 9 assists. JJ had 25, 11, and 7, so an outstanding finish to the season for him. Kungwu gets a double-double. DeAndre Hunter knocks down a 3. Yeah, not a whole lot else, really and truly, but big nights here from these top two guys as we're able to get the victory. Tyrese Halliburton is going to be our league MVP. He's been leading that for the majority of this season. Luther Towns, as expected, the the generational-ish talent anyway. I would consider him probably a borderline generational prospect, mainly because of the fact that he was already 21 years old. But the number one overall pick from Alabama, no real surprise. Puts up 12.9, 7.2, 2.1, 43%, shot 84% from free throws, and made a third of his three-pointers. Not bad there at all. Anthony Simons is our sixth player of the year, sixth man of the year. Got Wemby as your defensive player of the year. He's probably going to win a lot of those, I would guess. Chet Holmgren for most improved. That seems a little shocked by that. Let's take a look and see what the stats were here in comparison to last year. So took a 5-point jump, 2 extra rebounds, did improve his assists. Actually saw his field goal percentage drop, but the three-pointers go up. Free throws he's been elite at, just getting the extra minutes he's put on. Really nice job there. Trae Young is your clutch player of the year. Not sure exactly how they grade this one, but it's always good to see Trae, who obviously saw his stats. Of course, we'll go over all this, but obviously saw his stats dip a little bit. Now, if he goes to awards, is this going to show up? So it will not in the future, just in case. Jason Kidd is our coach of the year. Jordan Hobson is our executive of the year. But yeah, let's take a look at our All-NBA. First team is Halliburton, Giannis, Jokic, Wemby, and Luka, who is still playing for the Mavs. Second team, Ja, Shea, Anthony Edwards, Anthony Davis, Chet Holmgren. Again, no real surprises there. Third team is Joel Embiid, and Trae Young does end up making the third team. So back-to-back years, he's been on the All-NBA team, or been on one of the All-NBA teams. He was on the second team last year, down to the third this year. Tatum, De'Aaron Fox, Jalen Williams. So 3 guys for the Thunder make it. So it's no wonder that they gave us so many fits there in that last game. Shea, Chet, Jalen Williams. I mean, just an outstanding group there. Your defensive first team, Wemby, Giannis, Chet, All-Star Thompson, Robert Williams. Second defensive team is Bam, AD, Walker Kessler, Evan Mobley, Nicholas Claxton. All rookie first team. Had Luther Towns, of course. Abe Pickett. He went number 2 overall. Here to the Pistons. Let's take a look at his stats if I can ever find them. So 14, just under 3 rebounds. Really bad efficiency though. I'm sure that's pretty much going to be what you get from a lot of these guys. So you had Jamal Sheed, who was the 15th pick of the second round, an outstanding value here, a 23-year-old with a good base overall. You get Jared Clement here from Canada, 12th pick, Harrison Ingram, another second rounder with a really good base overall. Again, was not a great year for him though. So largely was Luther Towns and Abe Pickett, then not a whole lot else. Pat Henry, out of Florida, who went with the third overall pick here to the Grizzlies. Played a little bit, was okay from an efficiency standpoint, but did not shoot the three ball very well. Glenn Perry ends up making the second team simply because of the sheer just amount of minutes. Jalen Samuels, KJ Simpson. What pick was he? A lot of second rounders really had good value in this draft. Something we just missed there along the way. But yeah, that's all of our NBA. Let's see what seed we got. We ended up with the second seed here. So, did take a little step up from last year. Nice to good to see that. So, we'll figure out who we're playing here in a little bit. Let's take a look at the season stats here just for our team. Our leader in minutes per game was actually Zachary Richeche, the 21-year-old. Now, been a pro for 2 years. Definitely saw a nice jump. So, increased his points per game by 2, rebounds by 1.5 roughly. Assists are up a little over a half. Up on his assists. Blocks are up. Efficiency is up. 3-point percentage is up a little bit, not as much as just his field goal percentage. Nice jump, though, from his free throw percentage. Yeah, plus or minus average of 3.7, up almost an entire point. So definitely was a much more valuable player this year, and that's good to see. His advanced stats, PER, up a pretty decent little bit. Efficiency is way up. His true shooting is up about 5%. Effective field goal percentage is up 5% as well. So definitely actually saw his usage drop as he moved permanently into that starting lineup, but definitely had a good year. Trey, saw the stats come down here as he just was a little less efficient, and I would say was probably not shooting the ball as much anyway. Their field goal attempts down a little bit on his per 36. Yeah, the efficiency was down a little bit from the field, down a little bit from the three-point range. Free throws were up, but yeah, points down, rebounds up slightly. Not that that's a big strength of his. The assist number is down as well. And yeah, so not as good a season as he had last year, which is probably going to end up being a career year, I would say. Shooting over 50% from the field, over 41, almost 42% from three. Elite efficiency on high volume. 28 and 10. Going to be really, really hard for him to stop it. It might be his peak season. And if it is, that's fine. I can certainly live with what we got here. It was good enough to be a 13 All-NBA player. Onyeka Okongwu, the first year he really has here as a starter, I would say went pretty good. Almost averaged a double-double. Obviously is not being utilized a ton. Pick-and-roll guy that's got a little bit of outside shooting. So, career high in points per game, career high in rebounds per game. Assist numbers down a little bit from what it has been really throughout his career. Steals are about right in line. Blocks are career high. Turnovers, he actually improved on that in comparison to last year. Did see he's a career low in efficiency, which I don't think is something that would be overly shocking for a guy that's now moving in for the first time as a full, sure enough starter. But did see a career high in three-point percentage. Shot over 80% from the free throw line. Was definitely a positive player on this plus or minus, which, by the way, let me just look. He was actually above Trey from that standpoint. I think Okongwu had a really good year. He played well in the games that I played with him, and I think he's definitely on the uptick. Dyson Daniel. So, per 36 are definitely down in comparison to what he did last year when he was a lightning rod for us off the bench, but definitely, obviously, a positive defensive player. You don't see a lot of points for him. He's not operating as the main ball handler when he's out there, but the rebounds, a career high, and that number is really solid. If he had 5 more points per game, you're talking about a 12-5-5 guy with almost 2 steals a game. You're looking. He's not a superstar or anything, but he's a very good player. But on this team with guys that were more trusting to shoot the ball, Daniels, it complements them well. Now the efficiency was down this year, which sucks. He actually improved as a three-point shooter over the offseason, but with the sheer volume of it, that dropped. He's not great from the free throw line, so he's leaving points on the boards there. But, a guy that has 7.5, 5, almost 2 steals a game, being pretty solid. His, plus-minus per game was still really good. Definitely an improvement from last year. No qualms at all about Daniels. at all. Jalen Johnson dealt with an injury, was out for a little bit, saw his career high in points, career high in, per 36, career high in our second highest rebound number of his career. So a guy that averaged 18 and a half, 8 and 3, did okay from a, steals and blocks perspective. Made half of his shots, roughly right in line with his 3-point percentage from the year before, and up to his free throw percentages. Now his plus per minus per game was really solid, 4.1, probably the highest on the team if I had to wager a guess. JJ, pillar player, man. I mean, he is. I love him. I love the athleticism, and I like the things that he can do for us. DeAndre Hunter got the big extension from us and rewarded us with a really efficient season, largely coming off as the sixth man, averaged just under 13 points per game, but on a per 36 basis, it's a little above what his career line is, so not really any less scoring than what you're seeing from him, just a little less minutes per game. Rebounds, good number with that. The assists are down a little bit. Steals are up, though. Increases efficiency from last year, almost a career high in his field goal percentage. 3-point percentage did come down a little bit, but a free throw is a career high. Shot over 90% from the line. So really efficient score. You're getting the plus defense from him. He was actually or at least the team was a negative player from plus and minus basis. Playing on our second team unit that definitely had its ups and downs. It's no real surprise. Kobe Buffkin took the increased minutes that he got this year and was more efficient, career high in points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, field goal percentage. Not a great 3-point shooting year for him, so that's definitely the big thing for him. Free throw percentage was really solid though. Bogey, it's he's hitting the end of the road here, unfortunately. I mean, his lowest points per game total of his entire career. Even on a per 36 basis, it's right in line really with what he did last year, but he lost a lot of minutes. He's a liability on defense. Averaged 8.5, 2 and 2, but shot below 40% period from the field, below 35% from 3-point from behind the line, the lowest mark of his career. He shot his best free throw percentage of his career, but I think this is the talented veteran from Serbia. I think he's probably finishing up his last season in Atlanta, definitely regressing a ton. Glenn Perry, I thought he was okay as a rookie. Watching him, I think that he definitely needs to get stronger. Definitely got to get more effective on the inside, but gave up way too many rebounds, I would say, on a per-minute basis. And he definitely was a negative player for us. Gary Payton did exactly what I wanted him to do. And I will say, I'm not really worried about Perry. Young kid that's got a lot of maturation, development, and stuff still coming. Still think he's going to be a guy that's going to be a very important role player, if nothing else, for us down the line. Gary Payton, we signed him for the defense, which is always a positive, and we thought that he could rebound from his field goal percentages or per efficiency. So didn't play a lot of minutes, obviously, but did hit the big spike in his efficiencies. I mean, was majorly improved from everything that he did for Golden State last year. You get pretty good defense. Zeller didn't play a whole lot, and Krejci, Guy, Lonnie Jones, our other rookie, none of these guys really played a whole ton down here. I'm happy with the way things have developed. Want Ricochet to take that next step, become even more efficient on the offensive end. Would love for that field goal percentage to get into that 46, 47% range. When you get that three ball up to 38, 39, I think that'd be a huge improvement for us. Let's take a look at the league leaders here. So I clicked the wrong thing. Sorry. Points per game. Anthony Edwards leading the way. I believe he led it last year too, if I'm not mistaken. Shea, Tatum, Giannis, De'Aaron Fox are our top five. Our guy, Trey, of course, much lower than he was for this number last year. But that's your top five in that stat. Rebounds, had Embiid, Wemby, Drummond, Chet, and Giannis as your top five. So got what should be close to a top 20 season here for Okongwu was 25th in rebounds per game. Assists per game, we had Halliburton leads the way by far over Trey, but Trey is second. Look at Luka just putting up numbers, man. That's insane. Steals per game. It's Shea, Kawhi, also Thompson, Wimby, and Suggs. There's your top five. Halliburton right outside of that number. Dyson Daniel again here gets into that upper echelon. He had a 1-3 was a really good number last year. Blocks per game. Wimby 2.7, of course, always at the top. Pretty much of both of these stats, and I'm sure will be the majority of his career. Field goal percentage is Zion, Derek Lively. Amen Thompson's a shooting guard, finished third. That is insanity. Yeah, just around the basket a lot. Shot 17% from three-point range. That's definitely kind of a hindrance to him for sure. But yeah, nice on him to be up here with the centers and power forwards of the world. It's pretty cool. Shea had an outstanding season there as well. 3-point percentage, at least for the guys that qualified. Neesmith, Beal, Towns, Caldwell Pope, and Booker there. Let's see if there's anything else. Who was the most efficient plus or minus guys? Luka, Tyrese Halliburton, Chet, Kyrie, Anthony Edwards round out your top five. So a lot of things that make sense. Luka looked like he had a really good year here for Indiana. Back up on his points. Rebounds were up, averaged a double-double. Effective blocker, and actually shot better for them than he did for us, plus having a career-high free throw percentage. Really nice job there for Clint. And, yeah, so we will be, I guess let's take a look at the final standings here on each side. So in the Eastern Conference, Pacers, Hawks, Knicks, Bulls are your top four. Then it's the Nets, Magic, Raptors as far as the teams that are safe. Then you have the Bucks, Wizards, Cavaliers in the play-in game. 76ers had a really bad year there again. Heat, Hornets, Pistons, and the Celtics. Celtics have been horrible in this series. And I don't know why. I mean, I know Tatum dealt with some injuries last year. I don't know. I don't know. They just do not do well in the sim, I guess. On the Western side, you had Dallas, Timberwolves, Spurs, Kings, Thunder, Warriors, Pelicans as your safe teams, and then Rockets, Trailblazers, Suns as your play-in teams. Lakers falling completely apart here with the Jazz with the worst record in all of basketball by far. See if they end up getting that number one overall pick and what I think is not like it's not a top-tier Wemby kind of class, but definitely has some good players. Our power rankings, according to NBA.com, has the Hawks at 10th. You got Eric's here, has the Hawks at 12th. And 2K has the Hawks at 9th. To me, that seems about right. And yeah, I think we're getting close. I think that's pretty much everything. I mean, really happy with the way things worked out this year. I think we're doing a nice job. We're up from the 4 seed last year. We got 2 more wins, just kind of slowly doing things our way. Let's simulate the play-ins. So we will be taking on the Raptors, of course, after we just played them last year. It's always fun. Largely the same team here, it looks like. Yeah, nothing really different there. RJ having another good season. Scotty Barnes was not overly efficient, but seems to be taking a step up this year. Not really much new for them, so we get to have another series with them. We'll try to get through that quickly. But yeah, your play-in results. So we had the Raptors over the Bucks, then the Wizards over the Cavs, and then the Wizards beat Milwaukee. So yeah, we will be taking on the Raptors on this side. You had the Rockets over the Pelicans, Trailblazers over the Suns, and then the Trailblazers over the Pelicans there. So yeah, we ended up with the number 2 seed, which is definitely exciting. It's awesome. Glad to see that. Is there anything else to really go over? Just something, I guess, to kind of keep in mind. Can I see like my draft picks? Can I see any of that? I don't think I can. at this stage. Okay. Upcoming free agents, just kind of take a look. Obviously, Wemby is not going to be there. Kevin Durant would be kind of cool. I'm sure he's going to be very, way, way, way outside of our market. But yeah, next episode we will have in this series, we will be starting off our series with the Raptors. I know I talked about it at one point this year, how kind of with my work schedule and stuff, it can at times be difficult to try to get like multiple episodes done, like multiple games done for a single episode. But I might try to figure something else out since we just played the Raptors, in a series last year. Try to get through this series with them a little bit more quickly, one way or the other. Not trying to rush anything, but definitely want to kind of move along. We'll either be taking on the Knicks or the Magic, who I think would be a good series. Either one of those I think would be fun. But yeah, if you enjoy the content, like and subscribe. Check out my Georgia and Tulane dynasties on College Football 25 on the channel as well. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, peace.